Hey, good Saturday morning to you. It is August the 14th. I hope you're getting prepared, had a good week, and I hope you're getting prepared for worship tomorrow. 9 o'clock in Verdon, 10:30 in Girard, and 10:30 online. I hope to see you one place or the other. Just one verse this morning. This is Acts chapter 9, and it's verse 3. As he neared Damascus on his journey, and we're talking about the Apostle Paul here, as he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. And I'm going to leave it right there. So may God add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his word this morning. For Moses, it was the burning bush. For Peter, it was the walking on the water. For Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, it was walking through that burning furnace unscathed. For Paul, it was being blinded and spoken to by Jesus on the Damascus road. For Daniel, it was the lion's den. For Joshua, it was the parting of the Red Sea. I'm sorry, not the Red Sea. It was the parting of the Jordan River as he crossed into the Promised Land. You know, there have been many defining moments in the lives of human beings that has changed their lives forever. And these defining moments often set the course for the balance of their lives. And we could go on. Each of these servants that I mentioned had years of preparation leading up to their defining moment. And these moments forced the servants to be involved in something beyond their human experience. It took them outside their own paradigms of life. God had to move them outside of their own boxes. And when he did, their lives were never the same. When I got saved, I didn't know what it was God wanted me to do. I tried different things. But I was on a chrysalis, and I was giving a talk on the prodigal son. And it was during that talk that God spoke to me, and I realized that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Standing in front of people, telling them about Christ. You may be in one of three stages in your life. Maybe you haven't had your defining moment yet. But God may be preparing you with some many important life experiences. Maybe you have had your defining moment and you're living out your call. Or you may be toward the end of your journey and you've already experienced what I've been speaking about. But we're all called to a relationship with God. And we're called vocationally, which is often ushered in by a defining moment. And there can be more than one defining moment, each pointing you down a path that God has foreordained from the foundation of the world. The secret of a great life is often a man or woman's ability to discern the defining moments given to them, understanding them, and learning to walk in that path that leads him or her to their ultimate destination. Once you've had a defining moment, you are never the same. There's a story that a pastor tells. Excuse me. He was watching TV on a Sunday. He was retired. He was watching TV on a Sunday, instead of going to church. And he says, I watched church in Atlanta, or a church in Atlanta that was honoring one of its senior pastors who had been retired for many years. He was 92 years old at the time that the church asked this old preacher to preach. And after this warm welcome and introduction of the speaker, and as the applause quieted down, he rose from this high back chair and he walked slowly with great effort, kind of a sliding gait, and he made it to the podium. And without a note on any kind of written paper, he places his hands on the podium there, the pulpit, to steady himself, and then he quietly and he slowly began to speak. And he said, when I was asked to come here today and talk to you, your pastor asked me to tell you what my greatest lesson ever learned in my 50 years of preaching. And he said, I thought about it for a few days, and it boiled down to just one thing that made the most difference in my life, and it sustained me through all of my trials. The one thing that I could always rely on, he said, when tears and heartbreak and pain and fear or sorrow, when it paralyzed me, the only thing that would comfort me was this verse. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. The old pastor also stated, he said, I've always noticed that it was the adults who chose the children's hymn, Jesus Loves Me, for the children, of course, during a hymn sing. And he said it was also the adults who who sang the loudest, because I could see that they knew it the best. What's your defining moment? I'm Pastor Mark. Love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed, be strong, and I will see you in worship tomorrow. Go do something for Jesus.